Later, in this video I'm going to share with you a real SQL interview, in this case from a bigger company called Rappi. About a year ago I had the opportunity to get into this process to apply to a job position in this company, and I get until this stage in the process in which they evaluate your SQL skills. Okay, so in this case I'm going to share with you this experience and which was the question in that moment. Okay, the disclaimer with this is don't expect that in this moment, in this current date, let's say we are in this moment at 9th April of 2023, they not make sense that you expect that they are going to ask you the same question that have been asked a year ago. So this exercise is very good for you if you are trying to get some warming up before to get into this interview, or you are just trying to think about what concepts are, or what think of exercises they are asking in their interviews. In this, I've been in that position, and it's very difficult for us because obviously SQL and all the other technical skills are so bigger. They really could have millions of different problems and ways to solve these problems. So obviously when we get into this process, or we apply to a position, it's naturally to feel just a little bit lost. So okay, let's go into the exercise. I'm going to share the solution of this exercise in separate steps, and finally I'm just going to join all in a only solution. Okay, it will be very nice if you download the file that I'm going to share with you. If you are watching this on LinkedIn, there's going to be a link in the description of this video. Or if you are seeing this in YouTube, just go to the description below. So download the file and the idea is that you be able to import the file into your database manager. Okay, the idea is that you be able to follow my steps and do the exercise with me. Okay, so shall we begin? Okay, so let's begin with this. Okay, so let's begin knowing the question. Which was the question in that occasion? Okay, so the question is calculate a month-over-month percentage change of orders by gender. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to share with you step by step the solution of this, and we're going to develop a correct framework to just get into this kind of interviews or problems. Okay, that framework makes you able to solve this and any other kind of problem, of question than in any other job process they going to evaluate you. Okay, so before we start with the solution, we have two previous steps. Okay, in the previous one, the first previous step is first review the tables and the files and explore the data frame. Okay, it's very necessary because it's the beginning of everything. If you didn't even know how to merge the tables, of if you don't know the fields, it's very difficult for you. Just start coding and without a clear guide. Okay, so I'm going to show the tables in Excel, but I'm going to get over here again to share with you the same tables but in SQL. Okay, so for this exercise they gave to me these three tables. Okay, the users tables just have user ID, gender and first name. The jobs table, and the jobs table just have these two fields that are store ID and name. And the orders table, and the order tables are the facts table. In this case, this table have too many files. The first is the ID, next the user ID, next the store ID, next the state, payment method, total sales, tip, and curated ad. I have a date field here. Okay, so these are the three tables that they gave me to solve. Remember the question that we are solving month over month percentage change of orders by gender. Okay, so this is the first step. Just make this little explore of the data frame that they gave to us, and just begin to try to relate every one of these tables with each other. Okay, in this case I just identify this field, user ID, and I have in jobs, maybe I don't have here, but in orders I have user ID. Okay, and also in the jobs field, jobs table, I have a store ID, and also in orders I have the store ID. So just making this preparation before start coding, I already know which fields connect with each other in case I just need to make a merge or something like that. Okay, so that will be our another very important step before just start coding is just make a little exploration of the fields. Okay, in this case there's not very too much sense in just explore the ID, user ID, store ID, state. Okay, maybe the state, we got a lot of states here: cancelled by automation, by fraud. Okay, I have a lot of things here. I have a payment method, and I have the total sales, and this is very important. In this case, it had a lot of sense to just explore this field created at. So we know this data set have rows until 2019. Okay, which month? November. Okay, so this is the first step. Before we start just a little line of code, first we need to explore the tables, the fields, and explore a little bit of the fields. Okay, just for what? Because it's going to make us very easy to develop of the code after. Okay, the develop of the code after. Okay, I already upload these tables to my SQL database manager. I use Real SQL, so it's going to execute, and I already have these tables. The same tables that you saw on the Excel are here. Okay, Rappi users, Rappi, or I just put the name Rappi before the name of the table. Okay, just for identify it very easily. But it are the same. Okay, I already uploaded in my database manager. I hope you are already done too. So the second previous step before just start a single line of coding is draw an expected output. Okay, it's very important because again you cannot start coding without a clear plan, a clear guide. It's very difficult, and it's going to take you more than if you at the beginning just use this framework and just in this case draw an unexpected output. Okay, and what is an unexpected output? It's very easy. Just is in some I use Excel, but you can use any other app in which you just be able to draw, even if in a notebook with your hands. There's not any problem with that. So in this case I'm going to share with you what is my expected output. Okay, remember again the question that we are solving: month over month percentage change of orders by gender. So I expect, or the output that they need for me is something like this. Okay, I need a table, this one here, that had created at we already know before, because we got this first exploration of the fields in our dataset, that in the table orders I got a created at column. Okay, so this is going to be my first column on my output, but there is something very important, and what is that? The question are asking for us to get the month over month. That is very important, because if we see again in the orders table, we got the created at of the order, but day by day. Okay, we have here day by day, and we need the accumulate or the group for the beginning of all the month. Okay, so that is very important in my output, because I'm going to need to transform that created at that is giving us in a day by day way to a monthly. Okay, so that's the first thing important, to draw this output. Okay, second, gender. I expect to have a column with the gender, because if you read again the question, we have month over month percentage change of orders by gender. That is very important. Okay, Next, we like to have orders quantity, but with the previous month, and finally the variation between the orders on the month that we are just putting here at first and the previous month. We need to make that calculation and get finally this column here. So I already know which is my expected output, so and in this moment I'm ready to start coding. Okay, but please, in any one, it doesn't matter the company, it doesn't matter the trouble, follow this framework and you will see that it's going to be too much easy to get a correct answer in too much less time than if you just start like a crazy I don't know, just coding and just coding without a correct or a clear guide. Okay, so already knowing the expected output that we have, it's time to finally code. Okay, so because we already identified the different fields of the tables that they gave to us in the data frame, we already know that we need to merge two of the three tables that they gave to us. Okay, and which are these tables? The table user and the table orders. Okay, and we already know which are the fields, the correct files to make the union of the merge of these two tables. We have user ID here, and in users we have user ID. So first, let's going to start identifying these fields into the tables and just making a simple join like right here. So okay, I'm going to start here with a select from, in this case we need to make the join between two tables, a facts tables and a dimension table. So usually the more recommended is just in the first select just to use the facts table. Okay, from in this case called rapid orders, I'm going to put the alias or O. In this case I'm going to use an inner join because I need all the fields in the users table. I only need that fields. Okay, I don't know even if there are some orders that were made by users that are not allowed in the users table, but just for this case I'm going to assume that we only need the users table. Okay, the IDs of the users table. So I'm going to make the inner join with rapid users, that is our author table. In this case I'm going to use an alias RO. Okay, on RO user ID equal to O U user ID. Okay, so I'm going to just to prove that this is already I'm going to prove that it is okay, so I'm going to put a limit 10 just for not overload the system with unnecessary load of all the fields. So in this case I just need to get a couple of fields here. This case created at, we already know because we already drew the output that we need the created at. In this next step we're going to transform this created at in the way that we need, but I just need to prove that the merge is doing well. Okay, so next here you let's going to say the gender because we already draw in the output that we need that field. Okay, so let's going to execute this and the join is just working. Okay, yes, don't have any problem here. Okay, now that we already know that the merge is okay, the second step is just to start using the output fields in the format that we need. Okay, so let's going to make a little review of what we draw in our expected output. In this case is this table here, and as I said before, I need the created that field is on the orders file, orders table, but we need that in a monthly way. Okay, so first I'm going to start just transforming the format of this field in the format that we really need for our output. Okay, so for that I'm going to share with you these two functions here, two queries here. The first give me, I'm going to put comment here, this give me the first day of the month. Okay, so how does it works? It's very simple. I'm going to just put an example with the current date. Remember that we already are in remember that today is 9th of April of 2023. Okay, so I'm going to use current date for just to share with you that this is one of the a lot of ways that we have to obtain the first day of the month. Okay, so well, how does it work? It's very simple. We have current date. Remember, we are on 9th April, and we use this function day of month of current date. But I'm going to subtract to the current date one day. So if we are ready, the current date is 9th in this little part of the function. I'm just obtaining what 8. Okay, so 9th in the current date and 8th of the current date minus 1, we have 9 minus 8, just 1. So at the end we just obtained the first day of the month. I'm going to execute it for prove it. But this is the way that this works. As I say, there are a lot of ways in which we be able to obtain the first day of the month, but it's the way that I already use most frequently. Okay, so I already have the first day of the month, but remember that in our output we need to make some kind of comparison between the first day of the month, the current month, and the before month. So, but that before month also need to start in the same format. So it's like just a merge of this first day of the month and another function called day sub. Okay, it's just time intelligent. It's just to travel around the time, let's say like that, just to go forward and just travel back. Okay, and just recycle the same function up for obtaining the first day of the month. But in this case, this is going to be the argument of another function at the outside, that is day sub. So this is the so this is going to be the first argument of the function, and I'm going to use this another part of the day sub function, that is interval 1 month, that is allow me to travel a month before, a month back. Okay, I'm going to execute just for you for prove it. And as we said, the current month in this day of recording this video is April 9th 2023. So the month before, the first day of the current month is 1st of April 2023. So the before month is going to be March 1st March of 2023. Okay, so in this way I just already get the dates in the format that I'm going to need to just execute the correct answer in the format that we explain in our expected output. Okay, so just knowing this way to transform the created that, remember that we have created that here in the orders table, but they gave it to us in a day-by-day way. So I'm ready to start just coding again. Okay, but now using these transformations and just a little bit more similar to the expected output that I'm going to need. Okay, so I'm just going to have the step 1 query. I'm going to copy and paste it, and okay, what's the matter here? That I'm not going to use the ro.created at. I'm going to use the first day of month. Okay, so I'm just to use the upper function. So just say subdate. In this case, it's not going to be current date. This was just for the test. I'm going to use the created that field that is in our orders table. So okay, just copy the next of the function, day of month. In this case, again, we need ro created at, yeah, but I need this minus 1. I'm going to have a little bit trouble with this. Yeah, this is okay. So I need another parenthesis. Okay, and I need to give this an alias as let's say current month. Okay, remember always the comma. Next, I need to use just the second function that I just explained to you to get the first day of the month, but of the before month. So I need the sub date, yeah, not current date. I'm going to use the correct field, that is RO created at, yeah, same. I'm just really going to copy this right here, yeah, and use the other part of the function. That is the parts that allow me to just travel a month before. Okay, so I'm going to use the RU gender as gender, and finally I'm going to make the aggregate function. In this case I'm going to make a count, this thing. In this case, which field I'm going to use? I'm going to use the RO because it's our facts table. In this case ID, because there are the IDs of every one of the orders. Okay, as total orders. Okay, from this I don't have any change here, but here I need to make my group by. In this case I'm going to make like 1, 2, 3, and an order by. Let's say one in a desk way. Okay, I'm just going to put this at limit 10 just for proof, for test that this query is already running. Okay, I have a problem here, probably near this thing orders, maybe okay, maybe this little space here. Let's try again, and everything seems to be okay, but here I'm just forget to put an alias for this table as before month, okay, or previous month, like, let's say previous month. Okay, so let's just execute this again. Everything is fine. Just let's say this just a step 2 output that we get here is just the current month. It's okay. The previous month is already just working okay. We have the month before of this date here, the gender, and the total orders for, in this case, for this month. Okay, so we already complete our step 2 for solving this problem. Okay, so we already are in the third step. This is when the things start to get a little more interesting, okay, because here for just really be able to get this output, this expected output, and just obviously answer the question that they are giving to us in this interview. That is, again, remember always the question that you are solving, just to get the month over month percentage change of orders by gender. Okay, so I don't know if it is another way, maybe it is, but not in a simple way, not in an easy way. So for just make this kind of troubles, to solve this kind of troubles that are month over month, that you need to compare different periods of time, or you need to obtain this kind of comparisons of just to get the more tree group by I don't know, too many kind of fields. So for solve this kind of problems, let's say like this one, month over month, I mean just problems about comparison periods of month, of just you need to get the top 3 but not in a normal way, just the top 3 but with an aggregation of too many kind of fields. The best way to get this kind of answer is using the window function. Okay, so if you already know the window function, this is going to be very easy for you. If this is the first time that you hear about this function, I highly recommend to just seek for one of two couple of videos just for get familiarized with this function. Okay, very useful in these cases, specific in these cases. And I got another interview from this company. I'm going to share with you in another video if you already like this. But the same let's say the same kind of a structure, the need of compare two periods of time. Okay. just to get this kind of month over month, of year over year, or week over week. So it's very important to at least just know how to use this kind of function. Okay, so I'm going again to my SQL database manager, and in this case the step 3 is just apply a window function just for start or be able to make this comparison month over month, and use the previous step as a subquery. As you can see, there are many let's say styles of coding, or the way that everyone just like to have an approach of this, to solve this kind of problems. Mine is just to use a lot of subqueries, because, or at least for this example, is going to make me able to explain in an easy way without you just get lost of the concepts, or I don't know. I just feel more comfortable using subqueries than just copy and pasting the same field just for don't make another subquery. Okay, so I'm going to solve this using this subquery technique, let's say, but as you can see, there are, as you saw, there are a lot of ways and styles for just to solve the same problem in too many different ways. Okay, so what are we going to do? I'm going just to copy and paste the before step. I'm going to put an indentation here, and I'm going to make this an alias, another table. Okay, let's say T. Okay, so I'm going to make a select, and in this case from, yeah. So why I just make this? Because I need a group field that I just obtain in the past step. And what is that field? I need this, the total orders. Okay, I need this field to be able to make the aggregation, in this case, in which they need for us to make that aggregation in gender, by gender. Okay, by gender. So I need to be able to manipulate this field for make the aggregation, but in this case using the gender. So for that, I'm going to use the window function. Okay, and just obviously for compare month over month. So I'm just going to put the same fields here. Let's say I call the table just the subquery T, so T dot current month, don't forget the commas, dot previous month, yeah, put the T dot gender here, and we also are going to use T dot total orders. Okay, at this moment it's just the same fields that we just obtained in the past subquery, but here I'm going to introduce the window function, in this case for this kind of exercises that compare, let's say we have here a period of time and we need to get into parallel the before field, the before period of time, in this case actual month and previous month. We just use two kind of window functions, the lag and let. Okay, in this case I'm going to use lag, but if you think about it a little bit more, you also be able to use let. Okay, but in this case just going to solve this using the lag window function. Okay, so I'm going to use lag. So in this case I'm going to use lag to get the before, using in this case what field I need to get into my expect output, just the before total orders, but for the previous month. Okay, so I'm going to use lag here, but okay, a little trouble here. Okay, from the dot total orders, because I need the total orders but for the before month. Okay, so for that I'm using lag here, and I need just to put here over partition by, in this case I need just the field that I need to make the aggregation. Yes, I need to make this, let's say just make this aggregation, but which field? As I know, because it's our question, and I already said is by gender. Okay, so I need the month over month, the comparison of the total orders, but being grouped by the gender. Okay, so in my partition bar I'm going to use which field? I need the gender, and the gender is the gender. Okay, and I'm going to order by okay, the current month, because I need to make this aggregation, but I need an order because in our expected output I need the current month, the previous month, but order in a descending way. Okay, so I'm going to put an alias to this field like total orders, but the interesting part of this is that this row here is going to get me the previous row. Okay, the previous row, the previous of, in this case by gender, in this case just the previous month. Okay, I'm just going to verify that everything is okay, that I put all the commas here, that my window function is okay, all the parentheses, partition by okay, and my subquery is okay. I'm going to put my, just to finish it, and I'm going to execute it. Okay, okay, it just okay here. Okay, let's say we have here 2016 July. I have for gender, it's the aggregation is doing well here, it's aggregated by F and masculine here, and obviously this is the first because I just order here by ask, because I didn't put the text let's say words, but it's okay because I don't have a previous date here. Okay, let's going to find the last I have here 2019 November. I have one, and if this is okay in 2019, but October I got to have one, and if you go a month before, a row before, for the total orders of the month in question, in this case 2019 October, is 1. So this one is going to be here, and at the same way for August I have 7, and for August in the next month I got 7 here. So it's working okay. I just forget to put the, let's say the to order by okay, but it's just working good. Okay, okay, and at least finally we going okay, and finally we just have just final step to get the final result. Okay, so we need to use the step tree, use this query here, and just use this query as a new subquery in which you're going to calculate the month over month variation. We need to just to divide and just to yeah, solve or correct the mistake that we made in the past query in order to get this output in our expected way, that is in descending order. Okay, just our last month here, and so obviously the previous month here, but in descending order, not like this output already. Okay, so just let's going to finish this. Okay, so as I said, here I'm going just to copy and paste the before step, the second step, going to copy here, paste here. Okay, and as we just read a second ago, I'm going to use this second step as a new subquery. Okay, so I need to erase this here and put this like, let's say TT. Okay, and it's going to be a new select from, and okay, parentheses are okay. So what we're going to do is just to make as much similar possible than the expected output here. Okay, so I need created at current month, the gender, the quantity of the current month or just the last month, the quantity of the previous month, and the yes, the division of this between these two fields here. Okay, so in order to get that, I'm just going to I call this table like tt, so tt dot just all, but no, not all, sorry, I just need the current month. Yeah, I just need tt gender. Yeah, it's called gender. Okay, yes, it's gender. Let's just take up so of our expected output. Okay, the quantity actual, quantity previous month, so I'm just going to use the t. Okay, total orders, and this field is just associated with the current month, and we got the name of our past window function here. We got lag, no, sorry, tt, because we already have a name for this function. This is this is the sense of use this kind of subqueries. Okay, so we got here total orders previous month, and finally I'm going to make the division between these two fields here. Okay, this is very easy. It's just a division, but just for make sure that I don't going to have undetermined values, I'm going to use if null function. Let's just put this into capital, null. Okay, so I'm going to open here into parentheses, and I'm going to make how I just be able to calculate this variation. Use current minus previous divide previous. Okay, so that's the way to get this variation. So I'm going to use t total orders, that just is correlated to the current, the actual, minus t total orders but previous month. Okay, so I just close my parentheses, just make my divide. Yeah, just going to put this here like tt total orders previous month. Okay, so actual minus previous divide previous. Okay, so if this is undetermined or something like that, or 0 divide 0, because we don't have, in the case of the last last row, in which obviously they just doesn't going to have any other previous month, so just put 0. Okay, and I'm going to call this as let's say variation on over month over month. Okay, and last, just for at least finish this exercise, I'm going to correct the mistake that we saw in the step 2, that was just to fix the order that we have here. So I'm going to put here order by t current month. It's okay. I'm going to validate here just current month, and just by desk, because I need to be ordered by the last month that we have, that as we saw in the tables that they gave to us, the last date are in November 2019. Okay, November 2019. So this is going to be okay. I'm just going to validate that I got a very good structure, all the commas, it's okay. Variation amount, if null is okay, the parentheses I got here, and tt, yeah, things fine. So I'm going to execute this, and it works. Okay, just let's take a look of the output. Okay, first I need to just be sure that this output is just the same that the output that I need or that I just previous draw in this case Excel. Okay, so current month gender, total orders previous month, and variation month over month. Okay, it's okay. I got here okay, current month, gender, orders previous month, and variation is just the same, so it works okay. And just going to make a little short validation. I got here current month, yeah, by gender, perfect, like the question asks to us. Okay, I have the last month that is 2019, November 2019. I have in that month I have one order, and in the previous month, that means in October 2019, I have also one order by the masculine users. Okay, so in this case it's a 0% variation. It's okay. I expect that this video was clear for you. This framework to solve this or any other problems or queries principal for this kind of interview for jobs applications. It was really changing because already just have an order, a framework to just go to the war and solve this kind of problems. Okay, so if you like the video, if you really understand this, please let me a comment, and also if you want to bring to you the second interview that I get also from Rappi, in this case also for SQL interview, another framework. They used to use LetCode and HackerRank. So this another interview that I just get for they were from LetCode and a problem from LetCode. Okay, so if you want that I just make a video like this solving that another interview, just put into comments or send me a DM, and be glad to share with you all this kind of knowledge. Okay, no, that's all. See you in the next video.